else is solo. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you. Hallelujah! God bless you. Hey. Stolen any apples lately?
They tell me apples are out of season. I'll see he gets across the street. Can I help?
Oh.
Don't be startled. I just want to help you across the street.
Oh, I'm sorry. I seem to be lost. It's hard finding your way around in a strange neighborhood. I'm looking for 3824 Grove.
That's a warehouse, I think.
A warehouse? Well, no, I don't think so. I have an appointment to meet a student there. A new student. You see, I teach Braille.
Well, all we can do is go take a look. Maybe you've got the numbers mixed around.
Do you mind if I hold your arm instead of you holding mine? It's easier that way.
Sure. Hey, come on! Get out of that hole! Hey, get out! Get on your way! This is the number. And like I said, it's a warehouse.
A warehouse? I don't know. Do you suppose we could see if there's a watchman or somebody and ask him? I usually don't forget numbers or mix them up. I really can't afford to.
No, I guess not. Well, the gate's open. We can take a look around. Careful, this ground's all broken up. There's a door up there. I'll try it. It's up some stairs. You stay here.
No, that's all right.
One more. Okay? Anybody here? Hello? There's no answer. This place must be deserted.
You're very kind. You police officers certainly go to a lot of trouble to help people.
That's just part of our job. Hey, how'd you know I was a police...
found him? I said, which one of you found him? I asked a simple question. I want a simple answer.
The man who did this has a first-rate knowledge of human anatomy.
How do you know it was a man, Doc?
The wound was made with a sharp instrument which entered just a little below and a little to the right of the left scapula. Now, if you want to find a woman strong enough to get a blade in through all that thick muscle, look for a lady's shot put.
Well, what is the sharp instrument?
Not an ice pick. Not a switchblade. Maybe a butcher knife. Except it seems to me a butcher knife is sharper. Death was immediate. It's identical to the attempt on Hornets last week.
You mean the same guy that went for Hornets got McGuff?
Same type of wound, made by the same type of weapon, driven into the same place, from the same angle. It's a lot of similarity.
I'll make it even more similar. They were both police officers.
All right, come on, let's knock it off. Knock it off now. Let's cut out the fun. Police officer was just killed. That's not so funny, is it? How did you happen to find the officer?
I hit the ball, bounced up against the sign and went into the alley. Red went after it. I seen the officer, so I gave a yell. All the guys came running. I seen the officer too. So we held a council. We find this guy that owns the candy store, and we tell him to call the police. And that's the whole story.
What'd you see when you got to the alley?
Didn't see nothing. Didn't even find the ball.
Did you hear anything before you got into the alley? A yell or a cry of pain?
We was playing ball.
What are you hounding us for anyway? Why don't you ask his girlfriend the questions?
What girlfriend?
The one at the mission, one with the tambourine. He was giving her a line about 10 minutes before he got knocked off. Just before he helped some blind guy.
What blind guy?
What do you mean, what blind guy? How do I know what blind guy? Some blind guy, that's all.
Check the mission. Keep in touch.
Right.
Dismissed.
Miss Peters?
Yes.
We're from the police department. We understand you were in charge of the street meeting today at 3rd Avenue and 4th Street.
Oh, yes, I was.
You saw and talked to Officer McGuff?
Yes, I do most every day.
Uh-huh. Now, when he left you, he was with a blind man, is that correct?
Yes.
Can you describe him for us?
Is something wrong?
Officer McGuff was just killed, and we think the blind man did it. We'd like you to come down to the precinct with us, go through some of our files. Maybe you can help us identify this man.
Yes, of course. Used to have a joke between us. He'd say, "How about brightening up the corner at the Stork Club one of these nights?" And I'd say, "In your pay, Dutch at the automat's a little more like you." It's his joke.
Abe, you've been in a coma for a week and you don't have much strength left. So keep your mouth shut. That little gadget around your throat is a microphone. All you have to do is make the slightest sound, and I'll hear it.
I'll be right outside if you need me. Be a good boy now.
So?
Hi.
Get up. Abe, we've interviewed about a half a dozen witnesses. We had a bull session in my office trying to put the pieces back together. Now, the way we can reconstruct it is like this. You're on your regular beat. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. This guy comes up to you and he says that he's near dying. He's a diabetic. They forgot to take his insulin.
Yeah.
You tell him you'll get an ambulance. He says, no, there isn't time. He only lives about a half a block away. And would you go with him? You go with him, holding him up. When you get to the house, he tells you he lives on the 4th floor. You still go with him.
No.
He tells you he lives on the 4th floor. Am I right so far?
Yeah.
You go in with him. You carry him. He pretends to faint, so you carry him. So you pick him up and carry him up 4 flights of stairs. Let me ask you a question, Abe. Didn't you notice that condemned sign on the building? Didn't you realize then that something was cockeyed?
Poor people.
A lot of people, Mike, they live in those houses. People that can't afford rent. They sometimes stay there right up until the day the wrecking crews move in.
Did you get a description of the blind man?
Yes. But Abe here does. Abe. He was about 5'10". Slim.
Yeah.
Not bad looking. Fairly well dressed. Brown hair. As the lieutenant just said, blind.
No.
Not blind?
Abe, is there anything else?
He kissed my hand.
I'll get him.
He just fell asleep on you, that's all.
Considering the trials and tribulations. How go your own trials and tribulations?
I wish you wouldn't joke about my patients like that. I like most of them. I like helping them.
Irwin, I wouldn't trade jobs with you for money.
Well, you have to have a compassion, I guess. They're just people, ordinary people. With a particular kind of agony, I guess.
Irwin, when you want a job with Albert Schweitzer, you come to me for a recommendation.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Say, you didn't bring back that osteotome.
I guess I didn't. I'm sorry. I'll get it back to you just as soon as I can.
Just keep it away from your guests or you'll wake up one morning and find yourself fast asleep.
I'll be careful. Bye.
So you see, there's less than a half-inch of variation between the 2 points of entry. Now, despite the fact that in Ornette's case, the weapon missed his heart, That's a fantastic accuracy. That's a surgical accuracy.
Meaning we look for a doctor?
Meaning this guy needs a doctor. He puts on quite an act. One minute he's a diabetic, the next a blind man.
It's quite an act, but if I'm going to knock you off, I'm not exactly going to hand you my card with my name on it.
Well, you're also not going to play act at being a coronary case about to drop dead from a thrombosis. And you're also not going to shove a knife in me and then kiss my hand. You're not that complicated.
And this guy is?
Oh, yes, indeed. But he's complicated with a pattern. He has to kill policemen. And he has to do it in a way which says, I need help. Now, the diabetic he played was dying. The blind man was lost.
What's to stop him from changing his method next time?
Because he can't. He has to kill. And he has to kill in a particular way. He can no more help himself than you can stop breathing.
Why does it have to be policemen?
Because he loves his mother.
What?
I'm not kidding. You look for a man who loves his mother.
This guy looks like every kid who puts gas in your car, or delivers your groceries, or keeps you in line at the music hall. He looks like you, and he looks like you. Now, I can't tell you to stop helping old ladies across the street, or to start roughing up on beggars. I can only tell you, use your heads. This guy's in our precinct, and he's a cop killer. He's a Johnny One-Note, a one-gimmick guy. He asks you for help, and then he leads you to an isolated spot, and when your back is turned, he stabs you. When you guys go out on your beat today, I want you to be looking for him. But remember, he's looking for you, too. He wants to kill you. Don't let him. That's all.
First Marine Squad in the window, didn't you? I would have gotten in touch with you as soon as they came in, if I had any idea where to reach you. I said to myself, put them in the window hall, he'll come by, and here you are. Extraordinary, aren't they? Isn't it ironic? This was the first unit to land on Guadalcanal, and now the most perfect miniatures are made in Japan.
I want a colonel, too.
I'm sorry, sir. This is only a squad. The highest rank is a non-com.
I said I wanted a colonel.
I'll have to give you one from another set.
I didn't ask where it came from.
Well.
At his head, a grass green turf. At his heels, a stone. No, I'm not gonna not talk about it. Adam, look at me, huh? Not that look, please.
I'd better get back to my homework.
Wait, just once. Can I have just a second? Please? Now listen, You come in here in uniform. Now, that's the first time since I've known you.
Honey, I told you I'm in disguise.
All right. You walk over to my bookcase. You pick out every book I have left over from Abnormal Psychology 21, and you go through them as if they were the last hope of mankind, and you have the gall to lie there and tell me there's nothing to talk about?
There's nothing to talk about.
Oh, Adam, come on. I'm human. I have a normal amount of curiosity. Please.
Okay.
What?
And you're also very, very beautiful.
I can also put two and two together. Want to hear?
Yeah.
All right. One detective in uniform, plus one copy of, what was that? Oh, yes, psychotic behavior and its motivation. Adds up to one psychotic criminal the detective is trying to catch. See, if you hadn't been so cagey, I would have known a lot less.
I could have gone to the library, you know. But I wanted to be near you.
Am I allowed to say that I worry about you?
You worry about me and I worry about you. I worry about your worrying.
Cue me,
Okay. Where from?
Let's see. About there.
A document in madness.
Irwin, dear. Irwin, dear. Well, how long have you been home?
How many times have I asked you to shut the door and lock it?
Well, my arms were full, dear. I was going to just as soon as I put all this down. Why do you want to lock us in all the time? What have we got to be afraid of? Well, aren't you going to kiss me?
I'm sorry. It's a habit, I guess. At the hospital, I have to lock the doors, you know, or the resident will reprimand me. Somehow, I feel more at home with the doors locked.
You're a strange boy sometimes. You know, we're not going to have much of a supper tonight.
Oh, here.
Oh, thank you. We're so behind at the UN. I've got 4 speeches to translate. What kind of a day did you have?
Okay.
Ah, mine was indescribable. We both work in highly disturbed areas, don't we, honey? You know what I wish? I wish that they'd put locks on the doors of the UN, too, so that the Russians could be behind them and we could throw away the key. Are you restless, dear?
Oh, no, Aunt Lily, I'm listening. I'm very interested.
Well, they were pretty difficult again today. I hope they're just bluffing, as usual. We just can't have another war. Oh, you men are all so heroic with your speeches and your uniforms and your medals of honor.
How many times have I asked you not to mention that again? How many times have I warned you? I've asked you. I've even begged you.
Sorry, dear. It just slipped out. Dear, I'm sorry. Really, you know... Irwin.
No, don't come in here.
ready.
Aunt Lily, I'm sorry, I've forgotten. I have something very important to do at the hospital this evening. And please, remember to lock the door. Please.
You're a beauty, officer. Fits a little soon, eh?
Yeah, a little soon.
Seen anything lately besides yourself?
No, all quiet in the western front. How's it with you?
I had a complaint about a cat burglar about a half hour ago. Some man stole a lady's cat.
Well, don't go chasing up any dark alleys, huh?
Yes, sir.
Officer. Oh, officer.
All right, stand where you are.
I gotta have help for my wife.
All right, just stand there and tell me calmly.
Well, she's in labor. I done such a stupid thing. Just now I come down to call a doctor. You know, we haven't got a phone and I left the key upstairs. I forgot the key. I can't get back inside and she don't answer when I call her. I don't know. I hear moaning or something, officer. I don't think she's got enough strength to open the door, you know?
Where do you live?
Right up here on the second floor.
What's the doctor's name?
Dr. Lilius. He wasn't even in. I had to leave a message. He may not even get here, officer. Officer, if you don't want to help me, call an ambulance or something, please.
All right. Let's go. Stop sweating. Like they say, we've never lost a father yet.
What's the matter?
Let's go.
Up here, officer. Darling, can you hear me?
Let me try. Missus, can you open up for us? Missus, is your husband the policeman?
You try to open the door for me.
His face is a little rounder, I think. His chin wasn't as square as that.
Pointy, you mean?
No, just not square like that.
Morning, Frank.
All right.
Did you get that yet?
I'm waiting for a call back. It's early
He
yet.
got his ears sticking out too far.
You mean to tell me something as special as this, there's no way to track it down? The murder weapon turns out to be an osteotome. He said surgical precision. Turns out to be a surgical chisel. Well, where do I start? Surgical supply houses? Hospitals? Medical schools?
Hospitals buy them, surgeons. Nobody keeps a record of them. It's like looking for a needle in a tailor shop. Nobody's going to be able to identify and locate just one.
Will you stop playing with that toy?
Toy? What gives you the idea this is a toy, Mike?
Show me a grown man who plays with tin soldiers.
Do you know that there are many grown men that collect these things?
Like who?
Like retired generals refighting old battles. Military strategists planning new ones. Guys that don't collect rocks, tinfoil. Tacticians all the way to crackpots. Take your pick, Mike.
Give me that. Finelli's always fixing things for kids on his beat. The head fell off, he fixed it, that's all.
Okay, where's the head, huh?
Now, how should I know? It rolled downstairs or something.
There is.
There is what?
There's a store that specializes in these toy soldiers. This may be a collector's piece. And if so, I can trace it.
Good luck.
Well, it's at least as good a lead as the osteotome, huh?
Get yourself some breakfast on the way. You've got a murderous disposition on an empty stomach.
I just sold him that yesterday. You know, that couldn't have been an accident. That head wouldn't come off like that just dropping it.
We'd like his name and address, please.
Oh, I can't give you his address. I tried looking him up in the phone book once, but he wasn't in. I happen to know his name by accident.
Yeah, well, that's what we'd like, his name.
He left a library book here about 2 months ago. A very unusual name.
Well, would you mind telling us while we're still young?
I suspect it was German originally. Gottlieb.
Gottlieb. G-O-T-T-L-I-E-B?
No. Gottlieb is the German original. I believe they made a literal translation to the English. Gott, God, Lieb, love.
God love?
Love God. Erwin, love God. Now, that's an unusual name, isn't it?
A library, huh?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, you can't say you come across a name like that every day, can you?
Hello. That hurts, I know. You go ahead and cry. You don't have to be a good little soldier. And crying's good. Would you like to have a present? You would? All right. You wait here and I'll bring you something. Can you get up? I'll help you. Here. That's it. I'll bring you something. You stay here and I'll bring it to you.
I'm going now. I left some oatmeal on the stove. What are you doing with the soldiers?
I'm getting rid of them.
But they cost such a great deal of money.
Well, they're for children, Aunt Lily, and I'm no longer a child.
Well, honey, I thought that you collected them out of respect to your father.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, there's no need to shout, Erwin. In all these years, I've never imposed my will on you. They're your soldiers. Of course, you can do exactly what you like with them. Well, I must run now.
Still be living at the same address?
There's only one way to find out.
How long do you think he's going to stand still after he sees this? Come on.
You know, sometimes when it hurts inside, you talk to somebody, the hurt goes away. You ever think of talking to your priest, minister?
I don't believe in God. If there were a God, he'd never allow there to be this much pain in the world.
What took you so long? Listen. Oh, Mrs. Dancer, this is Detective Flint and Sergeant Arcaro.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Mrs. Dancer called me about her nephew.
I thought that was Irwin when the bell rang.
Oh, Mrs. Dancer, you were just about to show me something?
He's been acting very strangely recently. When I read the story in the newspapers, the part about the lead soldiers in there and in there. I don't suppose the name Love God means anything to you gentlemen. Irwin's father was Colonel Edwin Lovegood. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor. It was awarded posthumously. Irwin received it for his father from the president himself. You may have read about it. It was in all the newspapers. Irwin's mother was my sister. He loved her very much. Irwin was only a boy at the time. His father was dead, and then his mother broke emotionally. And the fact is, she killed herself. I know that I wasn't equipped to bring up a child, but there was no one else.
Mrs. Dancer, could you tell us where Irwin is now?
Be gentle with him.
You're 6 years old when your mother dies. And you hold your father responsible. Because he wasn't there when she needed him, when you needed him. So you hate him. But you're not allowed to hate him because he was a hero. The President himself gave you a medal, told you what a great man your father was. Well, Mike, you can get pretty mixed up with your feelings in a setup like that. Especially when you're 6 years old.
What have you been doing, reading Freud?
Among others, yeah. Where's Mr. Lovegood? Can you tell me where Mr. Lovegood is?
I think he went away.
I want this place sealed off. I want a uniformed policeman at every way in and out. Adam, you and I split up. You get on the ground floor and work your way up. You take the outlaws, I'll take the evenings. Right. Frank, take 4 or 5 men and work your way up from the basement. We bypass you, you cover us. All right, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Come to the reception desk. Irwin Lovegood, attention Irwin Lovegood. Please come to the reception desk. Irwin Lovegood, please come to the reception desk at once. Attention Irwin Lovegood, you are wanted at the reception desk. Irwin Lovegood, please come to the reception desk. Irwin Lovegood, Irwin Lovegood, please come to the reception desk at once.
Irwin?
I'm hiding from you, Father.
But you don't have to hide anymore, Irwin. You can come out now. Come on, Irwin. Come on out. Come on.
up. And now I'm gonna punish you. I'm not gonna be disciplined anymore, Father. I'm not a soldier. I'm your son.
Erwin, I'm not your father.
They don't want to punish you, don't you understand? Because you've got the medal. But that doesn't excuse you from killing Mother.
Erwin, your mother killed herself, Erwin.
No, you killed her in order to get your promotions and your medals and your glory, Father. Don't lie about her.
Erwin, your father was 5,000 miles away when your mother died. He didn't do it.
No. No. She would never leave me.
Son, help me. Help me, son, I'm blind. I'm blind.
Oh, Father. Why have you never asked for help before?
Erwin. It's all right, Erwin. It's all right now, Erwin. Everything's all right. It's all right, Erwin.
I want you to make a note of this place. This is where my wife always takes my suits to be cleaned.
When did I say I'd be your wife?
Well, I may get around to asking you sometime, huh?
Such a charming approach. How could I possibly refuse?
I don't know.
You forgot to clean your pockets out again.
Oh, thank you. Make a note of this, too. Always clean out his pockets when I take his suits to the tailor's. It's a terrible responsibility bringing children into the world, isn't it?
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures, produced by Herbert B. Leonard.